Hello everyone, we hope you're all doing great and we hope that God is taking very good care of you. Amito Mitra here from Kampala, Uganda, East Africa, but currently living in the United States of America because of the gentleman seated on my left, my husband. Please say hello to everyone, honey.
Hello guys, it's Steve here, aka Mr. Husband. It's been a couple of videos, but I'm back and it's a pleasure to spend this time with you.
In today's video, we are going to talk about something that we've always wanted to share with you, but we hadn't gotten the time to talk to you guys about it, and we were also waiting for the right time to talk about it. And today, my husband and I decided now is the time for us to share our experience with you, and that is none other than the green card process. For those of you who are watching me for the very first time, or those of you who just like bumped into this video, I came to the United States this year in February, and of course there's a process that led to my coming here. So before we get into the whole process, would like to also let you know that you can get a green card in the US through different ways. Ours was through marriage. Other people get green cards through the DV lottery. Others get green cards through their parents, through their children. Others get them through, I think, employment. I don't know.
I think I've heard something like that.
Yeah.
As it relates to this video, it's going to be the marriage route.
Yeah, we got it through marriage. And before we get into what exactly happened when I came to the US, let's take you back a little bit to 2024 when we started the whole process. 2024 was last year. I was still in Uganda. I was already dating my handsome husband, and we had dated for quite some time.
I would be visiting here and there.
Yeah, he would be visiting here and there. So one day we sat down and said, the things of you visiting me in Kampala all the time, and I cannot come and visit you. Why don't we,
let's figure something
out. And then my husband did his research, I did my research, and then we sat down and decided, let's apply for a visa. But then we also realized that now this is something that so many people find issues with, and at the end of it all, they have to start like the whole process again. Before you apply for a visa to the United States, you have to do a lot of research and find out how other people traveled, which kind of visas they applied for, and all that stuff. It will really help you a lot. I remember initially my husband and I wanted to apply for a B1, B2 visa, which is literally a visit visa. But then after doing our research, we realized, I don't qualify for that visa. I could qualify, but they would not give it to me because I had a fiancé in the United States of America. So if you have a partner, you have a boyfriend, you have someone that proposed to you, someone that you expect to marry,
very serious
in the US, and you are anywhere else and you want to come to the US to visit them, don't apply for a B1, B2, which is also called a tourist or visit visa, because you're going to go through the whole process, you're going to pay your money, but you're going to get at the interview and they're going to deny you the visa because it's not the right visa for you. You're supposed to apply for a K1. So the citizen of the United States is the one that applies for the visa, not you who is seated down there in the other country. My husband took the initiative to start the process. For me, I didn't do anything. I was like a princess. And of course,
I asked you a lot of questions, so that you did do stuff.
Yeah, he asked me a lot of questions, especially my parents' details that I had not told him through the courtship. Okay, he knew my parents' names, but he didn't know things about their months of birth, dates of birth, like specifics, year of birth and all that stuff, where they come from, blah blah blah.
And you did have to do your homework because they want to see certain documents and forms that maybe need to be updated, or maybe they have to go be found. So yeah, there's some things to do.
Yeah, they literally asked for everything about me. So my husband kept asking me every information about me that he did not know about, and I had to send him my passport copy, my national ID copy, my parents, my mom's passport, and I think national ID.
Your birth certificate.
My birth certificate, my dad's death certificate, all that stuff. I sent it to him, and then he went ahead and applied for the visa, of course, with the help of a company that helped us do the paperwork. You can as well do this on your own if you have like the knowledge, the time. But I think during that time, my husband just wanted someone like an upper hand to help us, since we were just doing it for the very first time and we didn't know how to go about it. So we sought help from...
Well, I'll just say it plainly. For me, it was about the peace of mind. It was wanting to do it once and wanting to do it right. Yeah. That's very possible if you do it by yourself, but you do run the risk of missing an answer or filling out something incorrectly. There's lots of tutorials on YouTube, but for us, we wanted to go with a third party, someone who's done it many times before, and it ended up working out really well for us. So
yeah, so the company, I think it's like a law firm, I don't know, it really helped us. And yeah, I ended up getting an interview. That is the only time I put effort into this whole process. The only time I was present through the process was when I appeared for the interview, of which it was really smooth. I remember telling you about everything, and I ended up getting the visa to come to the United States.
But you did have to travel to do the interview.
Yes, so that is something that so many people don't know. If you are applying for a K1 visa, we do not have a consulate in Uganda for the K1
that
visa.
Processes that visa specifically.
Yes. So if you are married to a United States citizen or you are dating a United States citizen, have it in mind that you're not going to do your interview in Uganda. You will have to fly to Kenya and do your interview from there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. When my husband was filling in those forms, was it the company or you filled in?
I filled in the forms, but then they double checked them.
They double checked, yeah. When he was filling in those forms, they did not bring Uganda at all. I think they brought Kenya, they brought Kigali, right?
They'll show you what the nearest locations
Ethiopia,
are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you just pick whatever is favorable for you. To cut the long story short, I went to Nairobi, did my interview, I passed, the visa was issued to me, and I had 3 months to travel to the United States. Yeah, I remember traveling towards the end of my 3 months. I didn't travel immediately after getting my visa. I took some time before I traveled. Don't do that. If it gets to your time, don't do that. That is risky.
You wouldn't want to miss a flight and
then
be stuck. Yeah.
You could miss a flight, anything can happen, and then and then you end up not traveling, and then you have to start the whole visa process again. I took a risk, but thank goodness it didn't affect me. Anyway, now let's talk about the green card. When I entered the United States of America, they started counting the 90 days. Mm-hmm. Now, something that I did not tell you guys earlier, a K1 fiancé visa is called a 90-day fiancé visa. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, that's where the whole TV show idea came from.
Oh, yeah, mm-hmm. The 90-day fiancé. Yes. So it means that when you get the visa that I got, you enter the United States and you have 90 days to marry your partner. If you are a man, you have 90 days to marry that American citizen that you are dating. If you are a woman like me, I had 90 days to marry my husband. And within those 90 days, you can decide whether you want to marry or not.
No pressure, yeah.
No pressure. If you decide that, this man is not what he was showing me, he was pretending to be a different person, you put your bags together, get on the next flight back to your country. For my husband and I, we married immediately. We did not wait for the 90 days to end. You have all the liberty to wait towards the end of the 90 days for you to get married. But we married in the first, I think, 10 days. We were married. And the process was, we went to the courthouse, we got a form, and they told us to take that form to the person who was going to marry us. So we gave it to the reverend, and then we had a private ceremony. The reverend married us off the following day in the presence of a few family members and friends, and it was a very beautiful ceremony. So after getting married, we signed on that form. My husband signed, I signed, the reverend signed, and then the reverend went with that form back and then emailed it to the government. So the government let us know that they had received it. A week later, they sent us a certified copy of our, is it a certified copy? Yeah, a certified copy of our marriage certificate. So after getting that, it was now okay for us. And that is something that sometimes people really worry about, and they're like, oh, I got married and my 90 days are done. After getting married, don't get worried about the 90 days. The 90 days are before you get married, but when you get married, you shouldn't worry about the 90 days at all. So after getting the marriage certificate, we started putting our documents together, because we had a list of the things that the government wanted us to submit for my green card process. So we took our time. We were not in a rush. We put everything together. My husband was also quite busy during that time with work, so I didn't expect him to do everything like immediately. He had work. He had to concentrate on my process as well.
It's a huge application, so lots to collect.
Yeah, but again, I would like you all to know that we still used the same company that helped us with the K1 visa while I was in Uganda. They continued with our green card process.
And that's worth mentioning, because that extended our process. It made it longer because they were very thorough. I would submit something, they would send it back to me. So there was a lot of back and forth. So it can be quicker if you do it yourself.
Yeah, the company was really thorough. Every time we sent them something, they would send it back to my husband, and they're like, oh, maybe do this about it, or maybe sign this. There's a lot of signing. And remember, he signs, sends to the company, and then the company has to read through, and they have, I think, other applications. So you do not expect them to just look into yours immediately. So anyway, to cut the long story short, we submitted to the government on 20th of June. So we literally started our process in June. We submitted to the government. The government got back to us and told us that they had received our application. And then 2 weeks later, they scheduled for my biometrics. We were actually very shocked.
Our process was way faster than we expected.
Way faster than we expected it. So we went for the biometrics. They went so well. And now this is something that was worrying me initially. I thought it was just going to be me all through and through, but I walked this whole process with my husband. Even when I went for the biometrics, I was with him. They let him enter inside. He was seated there. I was here doing my biometrics and all that. And it was very okay.
Very friendly people.
They were very friendly. They talked to us well and all that stuff. So after the biometrics, we came back home, and 2 or 3 weeks later, they sent us another email letting us know that, was it 3 weeks? 2 weeks? I don't know. I don't remember also.
Yeah.
Anyway, to cut the long story short, they got back to us after some time, and then they scheduled our interview for the green card.
I don't think it took more than a month. Yeah, it was pretty quick.
It was very quick. They scheduled our interview, and then the interview date. So the day they scheduled our interview, we still had like a month or 3.5 weeks to the interview. So if they schedule your interview today, it doesn't happen immediately. They will not send you an email today and say, oh, we scheduled your interview, it is for tomorrow. No, they will schedule, let me say 1st of July. They will tell you your interview is on 1st of August. So they give you ample time to prepare in case you had traveled somewhere for you to come back and all that stuff. So that is not something that should worry you. Anyway, we got notice from them telling us when our interview was, and then we waited for the interview. Now, during the process of waiting, of course, we were doing our research of what could they ask and all that stuff. It was kind of it made us nervous a bit, because just like anyone, it could be a job interview, whatever interview you're going for, you sometimes get nervous about it. But towards the end, we were like, why are we scared? Why are we scared? I mean, we know ourselves. We dated. That is the importance of dating. When you just marry someone that you've not dated, sometimes you might not know much about them, but we dated, so I knew him, he knew me, so.
And we had never been through a marriage interview before, so it's one of those things where you don't know what you don't know. We're very well prepared, and we love each other so much, but it's like kind of a bit of a mystery too.
Yeah, anyway, the interview date happened. We went. Now the problem was our interview was at 8 a.m. so we had to wake up very.
We were the first ones.
We were the first ones. We had to wake up very early in the morning, drove, and got there in time.
We even got there an hour early because we didn't want to mess around.
Yeah, we were kind of scared of the traffic, the jam. Because, oh my God, this country their highways can be very, very busy,
Rush hour, yeah.
Yeah. So we left home 2 hours prior to our interview. We got there an hour towards our interview, and we waited until they opened. Can you imagine? We were at that door until they opened. We were at the door for some minutes, 30 minutes before they officially opened the offices. Anyway, we were the first to be worked on. Now, on that day of the interview, they did my biometrics again. They took my fingerprints again. They took my photo again. I think they wanted to confirm that I am the same person who had done biometrics before. Yeah. Because maybe some people send other people to represent them for the interview. Anyway, they expect that they're going to take your biometrics again. They're going to take your picture again. And then we got into the office where this lady was going to interview us. And first of all, I was surprised that they let my husband enter with me.
Yeah, I got the sense that doesn't always happen, but this was a couples interview.
And I also think lately they are allowing couples to appear together.
But for us, it worked very well because I think we're both more comfortable when we're together.
Yeah. So yeah, and now this was my biggest shock. You know how I was the one preparing for this interview? I was the one preparing. My husband would be at work and I would be here reading and watching videos of interviews, what do they ask and all that. Guess what? That's shock.
Well, and then guess what we were also doing in preparation? We were quizzing each other. What's your favorite food? Tell me about your so-and-so's middle name. And we were really learning all those little nitties and gritties
about us. We were just quizzing ourselves. We already knew, but we just wanted to be sure that we knew these things. The shock. We went there, and the things that we were asking ourselves are not the things that they asked for.
Nothing like that.
None of them. So that is why sometimes, even if you watch 1,000 videos online, they might not help you. At the end of it all, it's about you and your partner. You guys should just know yourselves, understand yourselves, and that is it. That is all they want to know. So we get into this room for interview, and guess who is not asked anything? Me.
Very unusual.
Very unusual. We thought I was the one they were going to quiz. They didn't ask me anything, and all the questions were directed to my husband. They asked him everything about me, about my family. They literally everything. And my husband was so good, you guys. He was so good. He knew me. I never thought you knew me that much.
Well, that's one way to find out, is get put in the hot seat. So
he knew everything about me, to an extent that something that really shocked me. You know how I've been renewing my passports? I have 3 passports. I renewed 2, so I have the 3rd one. So this lady asks me about if I had any previous passports, and I was like, yeah, I've renewed 2 passports, but I did not carry them. And while I'm telling this lady I did not carry these passports, guess who chips in? My husband is like, no, I carried them for her.
I had a bag of tricks on me. Some.
You should have seen the reaction on this lady's face. She was so, I think, surprised. First of all, she was so impressed that my husband could, you know how like ladies are always like very tidy, like that, the ones who are the tidy ones, like the ones who always never forget anything, they put everything together, organized. My husband was the organized one that day. My husband was
for me personally, I had two binders. I had the binder of things I thought they would ask for, and then the binder of things they might not ask for, but I thought I'd bring them anyway. And that's where I had her expired passports.
Yeah, so my husband was like, no, I brought them for her, and he pulled them out, and this lady was really happy. He was like so proud of my husband. I was also proud of my husband, but he was so proud of my husband, because I think it's not a man thing. Men don't do that. Anyway, she looked at my passports, my previous passports. She asked me about my previous travels. She asked about what I had gone there to do. That doesn't sound like good English. What I was doing in those countries when I traveled, and whether I enjoyed those trips, blah blah blah. And yeah, that is the only time I came in, but everything else was directed to my husband. And I think the other time I came in was when I was telling our story. She literally was asking my husband to tell us about our story, and I was like, I'm not going to sit here and say nothing. I jumped in. I was like, no, let me be the one to tell our story. So I told our story.
That's the fun part.
Yeah, of how my husband started dating me and how we ended up meeting, blah blah blah. And she was, I will not say she was enjoying, but she was so attentive to detail. Like, she listened to everything.
Well, I'll say she seemed like a really kind person. I feel like we got a good one. She genuinely cared about the immigration process and, uniting couples who were in love. So that felt nice.
Yeah. And this is something I've told, we have told our family and our friends, that you see how we were watching people's videos of interviews, and they would come out and they're like, oh, they just told us to wait, blah 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 blah. We got out of that interview room after knowing that we had passed the interview, because this lady was very kind to us. She told us, no, everything went well.
Great. Yeah.
You guys did great. Anytime from now, expect an email that we have approved it, and then expect a letter, and then after receiving the letter, you will receive the green card, and all this is going to happen in the next 2 weeks. And that is what she told us. Like, we were so impressed. Imagine, she went ahead to tell me. She literally talked to me, and she was like, you know what, now you are going to be in position to work. You can work if you want. You can travel anytime you want. Just make sure when you're traveling, you carry both your passport and your green card. You can do anything that you want to do that the green card lets you to do. That was so kind of her. Like, she assured me even before I left the interview that my green card was coming, you know?
Without saying it directly, but she makes you feel like you did a good job.
Yeah, and may God bless her. May God bless her. She really made us feel so good about it. And then, of course, we got out and, came back home. And the following morning, we got the approval.
Because you can check online.
Yes, we got the approval immediately. And to cut the long story short, we thought it would take like 2 weeks, but it just took 1 week between when we finished the interview and when we received the green card. And here we are. And right now, as we are speaking, you are listening to a permanent resident of the United States of America.
So proud of you, honey.
Thank you, my love. You made it happen.
Oh, teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah, y'all should say thank you to my husband, because my husband has been the kindest person during this whole process, because you are not mandated to do your do your whole process of the green card immediately after marriage. You can take your time, get the money, and do it anytime you want.
I'm glad we circled back to this, because that's something I wanted to say.
Yeah.
You can just be a happily married couple, but the green card is sort of the key into how you get your driver's license, how you get working, if that's something you want to do.
Yeah.
So for people who are interested in really getting their life started properly, it's sort of why wait.
Yeah, but don't be on pressure
Right.
after marriage to get the green card immediately. You can even take like 2 years, look for the money, make money, and then, because it is costly, the process is costly.
It's costly, and you want to do it right.
You want to do
sure.
it right.
Yeah.
But I really am grateful for my husband, because regardless of how tedious, how expensive, how, like, it is tiring, how tiring the process is.
It's a long process. I feel like we got real lucky in the sense that all things total, we're looking at under 2 years, but for some people in the past, it's taken longer than that. So it's not a sprint; it's a marathon.
Yeah. So my husband made it happen for me. He was like, no, you need to get your green card, and you need to get your driver's permit. You need to travel to Uganda anytime you want, or any other country, and work, do whatever you want to do. And I'm really grateful, Mr. Nadler. Thank you.
Well, thank you for saying that. I'm blushing on the inside, even though my cheeks might not be turning red.
God bless you so much.
Blessings received, and I love you a lot.
I love you too. So another thing that made us really feel so lucky is our process took just 4 months. 4 months. And normally we've had stories of people who took like a year, 8 months, 12 months, 2 years from the time they began the whole process to when they got the green card. But ours just took 4 months.
Yeah, we were talking about how the timelines are always shifting, and maybe some of the policies too, but it feels like we kind of got a little lucky on ours. So
yeah.
Nice to catch a break there.
Yeah. So that was it. And they didn't ask for so much when the company was trying to do those things for us. All they asked for was, of course, the marriage certificate. They asked for my passport, my husband's passport, my national ID.
That's worth mentioning that a lot of what you are supposed to gather for your green card, you've already gathered for your K1 visa. So just hold on to those documents, hold on to those forms, and it will make the application a lot easier.
Yeah. So they were just asking for the basics. They're not going to ask you for so much.
Updated photos are really good to have. I remember at the end of the interview, she said, was there anything else you'd like to add? And we said, well, we have some updated photos. And we could tell her face that she really liked seeing those. She actually pulled closer to me and started asking me about who is this. So I was telling her, because we had pictures with our friends, my husband's friends who have also become my friends. We had pictures with our family, like the whole family, his brother-in-law, his sisters, and his parents. We and the nieces. We had a whole family, photo, and then we had family of just photos of just my husband and I. Friends trips.
And then the trips with friends. Yeah, we just make sure you have updated photos of yourself from when you entered the United States to when you're going for the interview. Yeah, that is what they asked for. They didn't ask for anything extraordinary. They asked for just the things that they expect you to have. So you should not worry about the process. It's not very hard.
No, I think you just go in there with a strong partner, and the rest is history, as they say.
The rest is history. But we are not so good about talking about. We are not so good at talking about this process. But in case there is any information that you expected us to tell you, or that you want to know about, you could always put it in the comment section, and we will respond.
We're not by no means immigration experts. We're just sharing a little bit about our story.
Experience.
But please drop a question in the comments, and we would love to help you out in that way too, if we can.
Yeah, and as you are asking us questions, also don't forget to say thank you to my husband.
Well, don't say thank you to me without saying thank you to my wife.
I am happy. I can do anything I want right now. So
yeah, it's a great feeling to have that crossed off the list. There's lots of other things to look forward to, but that was a big one.
Yeah, we are grateful to God, and
and we're grateful to you. Thank you for being a part of this process. We've been documenting bits and pieces along the way ever since really we started dating. So we so much appreciate your support as well.
And you guys have been with us all through. We do not take you for granted. Thank you, and thank you so much. You can also share with us your process. If any of you went through this entire process, tell us what challenges you went through. We didn't have any challenges. We don't want to be lying to you that, oh, we went for interview and they chased us. No, we didn't have any challenges. But if you went through something that you'd like another person to know
maybe
about,
it would help them out.
Yeah, that would help someone else out there, kindly write it in the comment section. And yeah, we are really glad we have you guys to talk to and share our experiences. We really love you guys a lot, and we feel good sharing with you. And we also know that when we share, someone out there learns one or two things. Otherwise, we love you so much, and we cannot wait to see you guys in our next video. Bye for now. God bless you.